Today's lesson is on 3.8 rates, ratios, and percents. And to define rates and unit rates, a rate is two quantities measured in different units. A unit rate is a rate per one given unit. So it's a rate comparing two quantities, but we're comparing it to one of the second quantity. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second here when we go through the examples. So some examples of rate: 36 miles in 2 hours. That's a rate. We're comparing miles to hours. $18 per 5 gallons. Dollars to gallons, two different units. 92 miles per 3 gallons. Again, two different units that we're comparing. So now if we want to change those rates into unit rates, we have to find out how much for one of something. So we can take 32 miles per hour. That's a unit rate. Now, it's not equivalent to our 36 miles in 2 hours. I don't want you to think that I'm making equal rates here. It's just an example of a unit rate. $3.50 per pound. 8.9 pesos per dollar. So we're comparing everything to one of something. That's what makes it a unit rate. So here are a couple examples for you. It says, find the cost per person, assuming the U.S. population in 1996 was about 266 million. The estimating spending in the U.S. in 1996, the medical care, the housing, and the transportation. So find the cost per person if there were 266 million people. And the estimated spending for medical care was $913 billion. So find out how much was that per person. Hopefully that makes sense. Same with the housing and the transportation. So for the medical care, you're going to take 913 billion and divide it by 266 million, and you'll come up with an answer. And then do the same for the other two categories. All right, so unit analysis, this keeps coming back over and over and over again. So here it is again. Unit analysis, you're visiting Canada and you want to exchange $150 for Canadian dollars. The rate of currency exchange is 1.4 Canadian dollars per US dollar. And then you want to find out how many Canadian dollars you will receive. So if you have $150, we're going to take our US dollars times the Canadian exchange over the US dollars. And that's going to leave the Canadian money. So the dollars, because one's in the numerator and one's in the denominator, those will cancel out. So we have 150 times 1.4 over 1 equals C. So if we have $150 when we go to Canada, it's $210, okay, in their money. Still worth the same amount that it is here, though, for the most part. All right. So then when you leave Canada and you want to find out, you have 15 Canadian dollars left and you want to find out how much money you get in the US, you find the rate of exchange is now 1.3 Canadian dollars per US dollar. So it fluctuates. So we can do a unit analysis again, and this time we're going to take 15 and divide it by 1.3, and that'll tell us that we're going to get $11.54 back. All right, example number 4. This one and example number 5 and 6 you're going to try on your own. So I'll read through these with you and try to clarify them a little bit. For number 4, it says you tested a sample of 100 packages from a shipment of 6,000. You found 70 packages were underweight. Estimate the number of underweight packages there would be. So out of 6,000, 100 of them, you tested 100, 70 of them were underweight of those 100 that you tested, and there's a shipment of 6,000. So how many would be underweight? So you test a sample of 100 packages from a shipment of 6,000 total, and 70 of the packages were underweight. How many will be underweight? Example number 5, what percent of the votes for Bob Dole came from California? So Bob Dole ran for presidency a long time ago, and there are the votes that he had total in the California votes. And so what percentage of the votes came from California? So the votes, that was the total number of votes, and then the California votes. So find out what percent came from there. And then number 6, about 74% of water used in houses is used in bathrooms, about 5% in kitchens, and about 21% in other places. About 9 gallons is used in the kitchen each day. Estimate the total gallons used each day. So 74% of it comes from the bathrooms, but I'm telling you that 9 gallons is used in the kitchen where it's only 5%. So estimate that and bring those questions complete to class tomorrow. Have a good night.